G'day legends, Coach Neil from Black Dog Coaching. And today I'm going to bring back to life an old series that we did a long time ago, but I still feel it's highly relevant for today. It's called the Excuse Matrix, and we're going to start with Volume 1, I Don't Have Time to Train. Now, what we've got here is a basic table that is going to use the power of mathematics to destroy the excuse, I don't have time. I don't have time to train. I don't have time to meal prep. I don't have time for personal development. So let's have a quick look at how this is going to break down. So in any given week, there's 24 hours and 7 days, unless it's changed. Last time I checked, that was still correct. Mathematically, that gives us 168 hours every single week with which to play with. Now, let's assume that you work 10 hours a day, 6 days a week, 60-hour weeks. Quite possible. A lot of people out there do it. Doctors and nurses do it. There are a lot of people who do it. But let's assume for a moment that regardless of what your job is, if you're saying you don't have time to train, let's assume you're working 60 hours a week every single week. Now, let's also assume that you're getting the mandated 8 hours of sleep 7 days a week, all right? That equates to 56 hours. Now, if you're sleeping more than 8 hours a week and you are still saying that you need that sleep, I need more than 8 hours, I suggest you take the advice of the immortal Arnold Schwarzenegger and learn to sleep faster. All right. Admin. So personal admin. Admin can be cooking. It can be cleaning. It can be doing the shopping, picking the kids up from the school, dropping them off, whatever the case may be. Let's assume that on top of your already massive 60-hour work week, you're doing 4 hours of personal admin 7 days a week. That equates to 28 hours of personal admin every single week. So more than a full day and night worth of personal admin absolutely every week on top of your massive 60-hour week. Now, if you're actually doing all of that, what this means is that you still actually have 24 hours left over inside of your week. So 168 hours in the week, less your 60-hour work week, less your 56 hours sleep, and less 28 hours of personal admin absolutely every week. That still leaves you an entire day worth of time for you to do the things that you need to do. But it gets better than that. So if we've got 168 hours in the week and you've got 24 hours still left over after working your 60-hour week and after getting your 8 hours sleep a night and doing your 4 hours admin absolutely every day, let's assume that for training, we're asking for 45 minutes a day, 4 days a week. That brings us to just 3 hours. 3 hours worth of exercise a week. And your meal prep, 1 hour. Okay, 1 hour once a week. Now, I know what you're thinking. It takes longer than that to prepare a week's worth of food, but I can guarantee you that it doesn't. I've got a whole other video on that another time. For meal prep, the longest part is chopping the food up and getting it into the oven. Chopping it into the oven, out of the oven, into the containers. The oven does all the work. It takes no time at all to meal prep, and the time that it does take is food sitting in the oven. You can go do something else while it's actually cooking. So 3 hours of training a week, that's 4 45-minute sessions, and 1 hour of meal prep a week, that gives us 4 hours, all right? 4 hours. 4 hours for training, 4 hours to prepare your nutrition. That equates to just 16% of your 24 hours worth of free time. Now, bear in mind, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that most of the people watching this aren't working 60-hour weeks and doing 28 hours of personal admin on top of that every single week. So you're actually going to have quite a lot more than this left over. But even if you are working that much, and even if you are doing that much personal admin, all you need is 16% of your spare 24 hours. And if you want to take it to another step, it's 2.3% of your entire week. 2.3% out of your entire week to work on your health, to work on your fitness, to work on your nutrition, to work on your mindset, to work on personal development. If you still stand by your guns and say that you don't have time to train, I would argue that you do have time, but you lack priorities. I'm Coach Neil. Take care of yourself, take care of each other, and I'll see you on the next video.